Hello everyone, my name is Cynthia Nuku. I am the Chief Travel Consultant here at Trips and Route Expert Limited. And in this page, you will get to hear about everything and anything concerning travels and travel related matters. Before we could go into this whole topic of today, I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, do you know that before you apply for a UK visa, there are 5 most important things to check? I see you looking at yourself. Okay, so let's dive right into it. The 5 most important things that you need to know before you apply for a UK visit visa, and this could also apply to other countries as well, but today's topic is going to be UK specific. Now, in no particular order, I will take them. The first thing you need to check before you throw in an application is how coherent your application needs to be. There must be coherence in every little documentation you are putting in. But your documentation has to be classified into 5 most important checkboxes. The first one is work details. Do you know that a UK visit visa is not so suitable for somebody who checks the unemployed box? Mm-mm. I'm not saying that they don't give them, but on certain grounds. But if you say you're applying for a visit visa, you need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you are coming back to that country which you are leaving. And especially if you're from a third world country, trust me, you need to do a detailed work. Work detail. What do I do? First, I could be self-employed. How do I prove I'm self-employed? Is your business registered? It is more suitable to have a registered business because it's easier to prove to them. Do you pay your taxes as a registered business? The presence of your business in today's world, social media, can they find you on Instagram? Can they find you on TikTok? Can they find you on Twitter? If they Google your business, is it on LinkedIn? All those things are things you need to put and factor in before you apply for a visit visa. Now, if you are what? Employed in an organization, do you have your employment letter? Do you have your pay slips? Or some countries will call it pay stubs. Do you have your tax ID that your company pays to the government after they deduct it from your salary? It is very important. If you can put your documents right on this note under work details, then you've checked the first box. Congratulations. Let's move to what? Box 2. Just as I said, in no particular order. But remember, he that works was what? Have something to fall back on. Now, that takes us to number 2, which is finance. How do I show finance? It is simple, and the only thing they understand is your bank statement. That is even a total different topic that I would digress into in some other, discussion. But just so we don't deviate from the topic of today, for you to show finance, you must be able to show, as an employee, for instance, that you earn salaries. Now, just as I said, I don't want to make this too bogus, but it's big on its own and it's a very vital part of your application. How does this work? If you earn, for instance, 150,000 a month, that's not bad. But also remember that in today's economy, 150 is not much in pounds. And you're going to spend in pounds. Have you done the conversion yourself? Mm-hmm. You see the exchange rate. Mm-hmm. Does it make sense? You already know your score on this note. Nice one. Okay, so for those who earn like the 500,000, yeah, thank you. Well, you're still good to travel, but then it doesn't end there. Can they see your monthly salary? Can they as well see that what you earn is 500? 500 is 500. We don't want to see in that bank statement whereby you say you earn 500 and then they get to see a 1 million. And then the next one, they get to see a 500,000. What this simply means is you would need to explain any figure that is outside your 500 monthly salary. So I usually advise keep your accounts clean as possible, because you go explain tire. Yes, you go explain tire, but that's a total different thing entirely. So how do you prove to them? You need to show your finance, and some people will tell you, oh, what am I looking out for? Are they looking out for what has gone through your account, or they are looking out for your closing balance? My dear, they are looking out for both. What is running in your account as an employee is your salary. What is your closing balance? They want to see that you also have monthly spendings, and they also want to see that you can as well fund that trip. So usually I tell people, don't throw in last minute money. It does not help your application. As a business person, you should be able to show your transactions, how they reflect on your payslip. For instance, or your bank statement, I mean to say. For instance, they want to see that receipt that shows that somebody has paid for a particular product. If you issue 500 naira receipt, let that 500 naira as well show in your bank statement. You might not be able to show everything, but at least show a couple of them to show that this is how this amount got into my bank statement. Does that make sense? Okay, that is you. If you're clear on this note, just know that you have checked box 2. Box 3, what are you going for? You said visit. Are you going to visit your sister, your auntie, your uncle, or you're just going for a regular tour visit? What's your purpose of trip? I always tell people, be able to show this. People ignore this aspect of your application, and it's very, very solid. You need not to play with this. What are you actually going for? Am I going for Mugo as a mom to see my child? Well, you need to show that this omugo I'm going for, how am I related to this person that I'm going to visit? How am I related to um my uncle? How do I show this? What's the purpose of my trip? If I'm going for a wedding, am I going to show the invitation? Yes, you have to. You're going for a graduation, you have to show the invitation for the graduation. If you're going for a business trip, yes, that falls under visit. You need to show the registration for the conference, the letter of invitation from your host, and stuff like that. This would actually prove to them that yes, you're actually having a, what an a genuine purpose of visit. Now you've cleared that part, and then you want to move into the aspect that talks about accommodation. Where are you going to stay? Am I staying with my uncle? Am I staying with my auntie? Or am I going to stay in a hotel? Hmm. Now, this is also very important, because if you say you are staying with your uncle, two things will happen. You will prove how you are related to that person, and that person has to give you documents to show that they have a house, and not just have a house that can accommodate you. For instance, if your uncle is staying in a 3 bedroom apartment in London and has 4 children, himself and his wife makes it 5. You want to come and trick yourself inside. Uncle, hey, that is uncomfortable. Oh. I've seen cases whereby they talked about that. You really want to rethink, or probably go for an accommodation, a paid for accommodation, just so you don't slim your chances, right? So your accommodation is also key. Also, when you talk about would you stay, make sure if you're not staying with someone, you book a hotel that has a registration in your name. It is vital. If you don't check the accommodation box, that means you are planning to wander the street of what? The United Kingdom. Sorry, you're disqualified. Hmm? Now, if you have successfully checked 1, 2, 3, and 4, congratulations! You are doing well. The chances that you are going places is what? Going to happen. Now, have you wondered what the fifth one is? The singles on this table might not like the fifth one, but it's a reality. Well, I've not said it's a disqualification, but it's very important. Ties. Ties is that aspect of your application you need to tidy. And trust me, when many people come to our table and we look at ties, hmm, hmm, hmm. Now, every visa officer is trained to see you as a potential migrant. Have that at the back of your mind. Potential what? Migrant. How do you prove that you're coming back? You're going on anything that is under the non-immigrant class of visa. You must prove that you're definitely coming what? Back. How do you prove that you're coming back? One, for people who have families, probably you're not traveling with your families. For people who have um, businesses, yes, you might not be married, but you have lots of businesses, or you have something that is really you're putting so much work into for them to consider you. That is a big deal. Be able to prove in your documentation that you don't want to go and take chances in the UK. You just want to unwind, or you just want to attend a conference and you're coming back to your home country to pursue your dreams. This is what your visa should portray, that you have ties. So ties could come in form of family, it could come in form of properties, it could come in form of business. I hope that you've learned a thing or two before you throw in that UK visa. Until next time, I would implore you to stay tuned to every little detail we throw out there, because you never know, it might help you. Thank you. Mhm.